Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kilene.
Guess what?
This is our first
Podcast episode.
I'm so excited.
We're going to be talking about how to become a local legend.
Oh, okay. Are you going to tell everybody how you did it?
I'm going to tell them how I did it. I'm going to talk about how you did it. We're going to talk about how it's important to grow in our backyard to grow then a bigger, larger referral network nationwide.
Okay, start small, go big.
That's what they say.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hi, and welcome to Real Estate Referrals, Network to Networth. This is a podcast for real estate agents across the country who are looking to build a profitable referral network and expand their businesses nationwide. I'm Kelly Heldreth.
And I'm Kilene and Kelly, and we are the KKG out of Tampa, Florida, the fastest growing team in Florida.
Preach it. The Twosome.
Tampa Twosome.
The Twosome of Tampa. The Tampa Twosome. How you doing, Kai?
I'm great, Kelly.
Awesome.
We're going to become local legends today.
I know. I want to talk about legendary. How did you become a legend? Let's start right there.
Well, I was born a legend, first off, but...
So, in our area here, people know you, they like you, they trust you. So I would say that puts you in the legendary category. So when you first started your business, how did you become a legend?
Well, we started right in our backyard. I think we talked about this quite a bit. Whenever we would go to open houses, we would interact with other agents. We found it super important to just build out those relationships.
I caught you hugging another agent once when I walked into your open house.
Probably a lot.
But, I mean, right off the bat, you knew that those relationships...
Yeah, I knew those relationships were important. And I think one of the biggest examples of this is I was a buyer's agent on a deal, and the agent that was a seller's agent ended up leaving me her entire book of business when she left the area.
We still get deals from that.
We still do get deals from it. She had worked for 25 years in this neighborhood. She had like 90% of the listings in the neighborhood, and she was selling her home. And I was a buyer's agent. And
you were you were like 2 years in the business?
Not even, I don't think. It was really one of my first couple of deals.
Right.
And she said, I just really appreciate the way that you do your business, and I appreciate your customer service. And if it's okay with you, if I get anything from my efforts here in my neighborhood, I'd love to pass it on to you. And I said, and I would be happy to pay you a referral fee.
That'll work for me.
Yeah.
So that's like a legendary compliment. That's massive.
Well, it just helped me realize that to build out a referral network, I didn't always need to start big. I could start really small and work my way out from there. I think as agents, we always think, okay, I'm going to build this out. I'm going to go big. But sometimes it's better to go small to then go big.
Start right in your backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Super important. You know, the thing that I think is so important is that even though I'm licensed all through Florida, I don't need to go all through Florida.
I don't want to work in Miami. I don't even want to go to Miami.
No, me either.
No, I don't want to list a house in Miami. Why would I do that?
I mean, I love my Miami referral partners. God love them.
Yeah, I would love that they can deal with it down there, but I don't want to be there, and I certainly don't know that market well enough to list a house there. But I want to know many agents from there. Yeah.
I think it was a couple years back, I had that one couple that kind of started locally, and then they ended up almost 3 hours away from here. Sweetest couple ever. But I don't know if it was the drive up or the drive back or the drive up or the drive back.
So this is the one where we started right here in Valrico.
Yeah.
And then you went into Tampa.
Yeah.
And then you went to Wesley Chapel.
Yeah.
And you went further and further north.
And I ended up like almost 3 hours away. And at that point, I should have said, I don't know enough about this area to be successful for you. Like, I should have passed them on to somebody.
But you loved them.
I did love them, and I was already invested in, like, that was a one-off situation. But I look back at conversations that you had with agents on listings where they called and said, hey, I'm driving up from Miami to show these people a house, but I don't have access to your MLS and I don't have access to your e-key. Can you let me into the home? And you're always like, why would you help somebody in an area you know nothing about?
Right.
And that was like so true.
So that was ringing through your head as you're driving 2.5 hours home?
Yeah, because I didn't know anything. Like, I couldn't tell them where to go to grocery store. I couldn't tell them where the local mall was. I'm like Googling it.
I don't know where the Publix is.
Yeah, I had no idea. So it didn't make sense.
Yeah, we don't know what school grade they have at the local high school. And those are questions that we should know.
Well, it's important. So I think that was really where it hit home. Like, we have to start in our spot here and work our way out. And then that referral network will grow out from there. But it's super important to not forget our local.
And as newer agents, it's natural for us to think that every single deal,
we have to
do everything all the time, and it's really hard to not say, yeah, I'll go to Miami, because you get that sale and you're tied to it, and you so badly want to help the person, and you also want to get paid. But it gets to a point where all of a sudden you're driving 2.5 hours, but you've got 6 people that you're working with here.
Well, you're not really working with the 6 people here because you're on the road
Because
for
you spent
6
the
hours.
entire day.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just the initial purchase. There's inspections.
Yeah.
There's follow-up with vendors that might have to get into the house. There's all kinds of different things that you may have to go back for. So it's not just one and done.
Not only that, but like you don't even know any of the local vendors up there. Like, who do I call for an electrician? Who do I get for an inspector? Then you're relying on these other agents when from the very beginning you should have just relied on those experts to
we should
take
have just
care of
turned
it.
it over. Yeah, because we expect somebody's going to rely on us in our area.
Yeah.
And it is hard as a new agent, though.
It is.
Because you got that sale, man, and you're so excited about it, and you want to go everywhere. But it just, mathematically, it's not smart to do that. Build in your own backyard before you expand out.
Yeah. Well, and that brings us to like the next point, right? So what makes a good agent versus a bad agent? Because we're all wanting to be really good agents and we want to become good referral agents. So what does that really look like?
Oh, I love this question.
I know you do.
So to me, I always think that the agent on the other side is a legend if they answer their phone.
Well, you say it to them all the time.
I always say, congratulations. Thank you for being a legend and answering your phone, because I'm so accustomed to them not answering the phone.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I remember when I first got started, there's 2 really big agents that aren't with our brokerage, but are in our area. And I had to call them for an issue that I was having or to get into a house or whatever. And they both answered their phones every time.
Still do.
Still do. And they're bigger than they were before. Mm-hmm. But that's a simple case of success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Those people are successful. And why do you think they might be successful?
They answer their phones.
They answer their phones. It's
Yeah.
such an easy, simple starter.
Yep.
What about for you?
I always find it important to show up when you say you're going to show up. How many times have we gotten calls from listing agents or our listings that have said, hey, the agent was supposed to be here a half hour ago. They're not here. Communication is key. Doing what you say you're going to do. That professionalism goes a long way. And it just really kind of boosts you as an agent in the area. It shows that you're committed to your craft. You're committed to your job.
Yes. Oftentimes, like, we're out showing 5, 6, 7 houses and somebody will run late. It's really simple to text the listing agent and be like, hey, man, they're running 15 minutes late.
Yeah, or call them on your way out.
Yeah. And whenever
If they answer their phones.
If they answer their phones. And whenever I get those text messages like, yeah, they're running 20 minutes late, I so appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So I can let my people know, because if I'm not communicating with my people, I don't look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah, me too. I know which one drives you probably the most crazy, though.
Tell me.
Emotions in the transaction.
Oh, yes. When, you're exactly right. When agents interject their own emotions into the transaction and all of a sudden they are adversarial rather than somebody that's kind of realizing that we're pulling the rope in the same direction, mm-hmm. I don't get that. And I always think that that's a weak agent.
Yeah, but it also shows, like, cooperating agents that you're in this for the win-win of it all. Like, we're not in it to get one over on them or...
Right. Yeah, we're not playing gotcha real estate.
No.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. You know something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad for you, but we're pulling the rope in the same direction.
Absolutely.
So that stuff, like the emotions, like how many times have we been in the same room where on the phone with the other agent, we're super steady. And then we hang up the phone, we're like, bro, we freak out.
I can remember a couple times that I've been on the phone, not the most calm. Sir. I've yelled at quite a few men in my day.
Wasn't that a title company?
Or a lender. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
it was very emotional. So I have you in my ear constantly saying, don't be emotional.
Yeah. So removing the emotions from the transaction, because it's not for the other agents or us to do that.
Yeah.
To be a legend in the area, remove your emotions from it and just keep your eye on the ball, which is the transaction, and get your people what they want.
Exactly. So now we kind of know what it means to be a great agent and how to build out relationships with our local agents. We also know that we don't want to be driving an hour, 3 hours, 5 hours to show a house.
Well, an hour for the right price range, for sure.
Yeah.
But, an hour for a $150,000 house, like, we're just not there anymore.
Do you remember that lady that we had who wanted to look at houses like 4 hours away. And I told her, I like referred her out. But instead of that, she would just go to these houses on her own. She tried to climb through windows. Do you remember that lady?
Yes.
Yeah. We tried to hook her up with an agent. She was not having it.
My favorite is the lady that passed out in your car.
She took a sleeping pill instead of her vitamin for the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a whoops.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, real estate.
So let's give everybody 5 takeaways. Hopefully they'll take all 5 and they'll do something with them. But even if they just pull 1 or 2, I think it could change their business for sure.
Yeah. So if you got a pen and paper, definitely write down a couple of these things.
Yeah.
Here's one that we love. So going to our brokerages trainings.
Well, trainings, networking events, things that have other agents at them. So often other agents are afraid to go to places that other agents might be at. Like if I go to a chamber event or I go to a networking event and there's other agents there, I just look at that as an opportunity to build out those relationships. And here's the other part of it. Someone who might connect with me may not connect with them and vice versa. I already know I'm not for everybody. I am a lot. So if I'm not the right person for
really
you,
are a lot.
I am. And I know this. My husband tells me every day. So I understand.
Right.
But at the same time, it is an opportunity to reach other agents that are working in the area and really get that collaborative effort going, because we are all pulling the rope in the same direction. It doesn't need to be an adversarial. And it really does help you in your local market to know other agents and have those relationships.
And on top of that, let's say you go to the chamber and there are 13 other agents there.
Yeah.
Chances are good 8 of those 13 are just they're hobbyists.
They're going to drop out.
You show up as the agent that's really serious. And so those guys who drop out or just aren't doing this, chances are good they're going to be like, oh, that Kilene chick was really serious about this. Let me refer my people because I want to make sure that they're taken care of. So that stuff matters.
Absolutely. And that leads us to our next point. Our team, we like to send out cards to all the new agents in our market center. So once a month, the front desk girls give me a list of all the new agents. And I send them just a really quick, hey, welcome to the family. Great to have you. If you need anything, Kelly and I are here to help. Our door's always open. If there's something that we can do or answer, come on in and visit for a while.
Yeah, come hang out. And chances are good, I hate to even say this, but chances are good that agent won't be here.
Right.
Because the rate of people that actually stick in the business is not very high. So why not build a relationship with that person? Because their mom or dad or cousin someday may want to buy a house and they may be out of the industry, but they're going to remember they got a handwritten note from Kilene Shelley at the KKG, and why not Kilene's serious about our business? Why not have Kilene take care of them?
Yeah, I mean, we're always on the lookout for people to get join our team, but we're also on the lookout to just continue to build out those relationships. So I think it doesn't hurt.
Right.
For sure.
Here's one that I love.
You do love this.
I love this. A Google review. Give a Google review for the other agent you're in a transaction with.
Yeah.
I love that. It only makes perfect sense.
I mean, when we heard about it, I think we both about fell out of our chairs. I had just finished a transaction.
Yeah.
I was the buyer's agent on it. And the agent called to thank me. And in the call, he said, send me your Google link. I want to leave you a review.
He was on speakerphone.
And you...
I was facing away from you and I spun around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we were both like...
Duh.
V8 moment.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why haven't we been doing that?
Yeah.
Because I would say... if I'm a buyer and I'm researching somebody and their name pops up from another agent, that's like just gives so much credibility that you're like a serious agent.
Well, and then we, once we were like, duh, we should have been doing this forever ago, then it can translate out like the people who refer people into us having that referral come in. We could be leaving reviews for all different types of agents, and it just really kind of opens you up to show how professional you are in those relationships that you've built.
Yeah, if I send a referral out to California and that person does a great job, I'm giving them a review.
Yep.
I want to help them get more business, and I'm going to send them more business if I possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
The next one is something that, again, I think we're both really good at. We are lifetime learners.
Yes.
We love to go and learn things, implement things, grab nuggets wherever we can. So being able to attend training events outside of your area, it serves a couple different purposes, right? Like you're going to learn something, which is going to be awesome.
Learn something, but there's more to it.
You're going to be able to meet agents that aren't in your area. There's a lot of agents who will not go 45 minutes out of their way to show a house.
Right.
I mean, there just are.
There's not. I mean, there's some older agents that are like, there's no way I'm driving for an hour to go show a house, but
We will.
We're more than glad
Yeah.
to. Yeah, it's right here in our backyard. So you just never know who you'll meet at those different events outside of your marketplace.
Yep.
That could become a huge referral partner for you.
Yeah, or somebody like in my story earlier that would be leaving the area and wants to leave their book of business to somebody.
Right.
Amazing.
Exactly right. Yeah. So if you go 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and if you're like timely about it, or if you plan it out, who knows who you'll end up with, and chances are good you'll end up with somebody that can refer you business where you are.
Yeah, and that's kind of the last point. Like, if you're starting from scratch to build out your referral network, really start in your home base, then go out an hour, then go out 2 hours, then go out 3 hours, and just keep expanding from there. The good thing is the more you expand that way, you're going to run into other agents. They're going to say, oh, my sister sells real estate in Illinois and my cousin sells real estate in Texas. And like, you never know who you're going to get connected with just by building out those local networks.
Right. It's huge. So folks, if you're listening, we want you to get more mailbox money. This is all about the mailbox money.
Yes.
So the best way for folks that might be listening that may want to become part of our network so we can send referrals out as well as receive them back, where do they go to do that?
Well, they're going to go to our website, www.thekkg.com/referrals.
Referrals. And there, it'll pop up a screen where they can fill out information?
Yep, and it'll come to our email, and from there we can, you'll get a phone call from me, you'll get on our newsletter once a month, you'll get on quarterly cards from me, and you'll also get quarterly phone calls from me, so it'll be a lot of fun for you.
And every once in a while, I might even call, but probably not.
Maybe. We can probably
Yeah, maybe.
guest appearance by Kelly Hildreth.
There you go. So again, folks, this is Real Estate Referrals, Network to Networth. Thank you for tuning in, listening. Kai, you're amazing at this.
Dude, you're a legend.
You're a legend. I just spit all over myself. Sorry. I got some on your leg.
It's all right, I don't mind.
All right, guys. Until next time.
See you guys.